5, 4,
3, 2, 1.
Put everything down and crank your speakers up.
It's time for
The Realest Podcast.
Oh yeah!
We got us a new world champion!
And what is going on, guys? You're listening to the Realest Podcast. I'm not even going to continue this. I'm not even going to say anything else. You're listening to the Smackdown Live review for April 18th of 2017. Kyle, what's on your mind, man? You have a lot you want to say.
Alright, well, I mean, not really a lot. I just told Blake before the show that, like, okay, I want to start now because there's one main thing I want to touch about tonight. Tonight was a really good show. I liked it, a lot going on, stuff like that. But one big thing in particular that I was shocked about seeing, we even talked about last night about the six-pack challenge, okay?
Ooh, Jinder Mahal.
Yes, seeing Jinder Mahal of all people win. Blake's prediction last night was saying, okay, well, yeah, you didn't believe that Jinder Mahal and Mojo Rawley are in it? I bet that's going to further their feud. Nope! He's the number one contender. And no, listen, though, it's not a rant. I'm not ranting because I'm kind of happy for it. He did really well on the mic, and he's been really improving in the ring, so, I mean, I'm not mad at it. I was beyond shocked when I saw it. Like, I mean, everyone in that match really was going to be really weird to see them be the number one contender, but I guess because how SmackDown Live is already, and now this Superstar Shakeup, all the new talent that's on there, it could have really went to, I guess, anybody. I was going to say between guys like Sami Zayn or Luke Harper, but of course, I mean, it can't really be a face against a face, and the heels there were pretty much shit. Like, Ziggler's going to end up feuding with Nakamura. Eric Rowan, there's no way he was going to fucking get it. So, I mean, Jinder Mahal, I mean, it's interesting. I hated it at first, but hearing his promo that he gave, I think he'll actually do well with it. I think the feud is what I'm worried about. The match will be fine. The feud and them building it is going to be kind of weird. I don't know how it's going to go.
Well, I mean, essentially, it's going to be Jinder Mahal versus Randy Orton, which is not exactly what we call the most exciting matchup we've ever, witnessed. So,
dude, it's a sleeper. It can be good. That's definitely a sleeper match. That match can definitely be good because, like I said, Jinder Mahal could have a great promo tonight, and he's really been improving wrestling-wise. And it's interesting too. Another thing about it is we saw the Bollywood boys. So is it going to be like a legacy situation? Are we going to see that be turned around on Randy?
Well, I think we could see some sort of, I wouldn't say faction, but some sort of three-man team being put together here for everybody. So I know that a lot of people are unhappy with what happened tonight. A lot of people are unhappy that Jinder Mahal is the number one contender. A lot of people said that he's entertaining, that he's also not, that he's very unsafe in the ring. Just a lot of negative things that I've seen. Just a bunch of people upset. I thought it was a big curveball, and I thought, I remember thinking, what? Just literally
exactly.
The biggest curveball out of everything, and he honestly has a lot of heat. I mean, at this point, just let's see what happens. It's all. I mean, the more and more we complain, obviously, the big picture's not going to have Jinder Mahal in it.
No.
So let's just see what happens.
Yeah, I thought the exact same thing. That it was like a completely curveball thing, a crazy thing to do. And like I said, I hated it at first. And I can understand him being unentertaining and unsafe in the ring and stuff like that. I think the unentertaining part, I thought that especially. But like I said, tonight, I think he cut a really good promo. Mainly for it being one of his real main promos. Because he's been around for a while with times he feuded with Great Khali and then Rusev. He had a thing there. But tonight was his real, own promo. And I thought he did really well with it. And I think people might hate it now, but maybe over time people might start to like the feud and like that and think that he's actually become a really good heel because he's never had the chance. David said this is his first title opportunity. This is his first time to shine, so he can either do amazing with it or he can completely fall flat on his face and it be horrible for him. And this could be like the last time we see him in a title picture ever.
Who knows? I mean, this is his big moment. And I said last week that I thought what he did on what's it called?
Raw.
Talking Smack.
Oh.
that it was really good what he did. I thought what he did there was actually pretty good. You know, him saying that he thinks that he's the most improved wrestler and that he has improved way better than anybody else in that locker room. So, I mean, I was late to turn on the match. You know, I actually turned it on as soon as the finish happened. So, what happened? Like, tell me about the match. What was it?
So basically, it just went to Jinder Mahal snuck in the ring, and
I saw the
it was
Bollywood Boys. I saw that.
Mojo Rawley did his finisher on Dolph Ziggler, and then Jinder Mahal pushed Mojo out of the ring like who's going to still win. But then Sammy broke it up at the last second. Then I guess Sammy pushed Jinder into the corner, went for his Helluva Kick, and the Bollywood Boys grabbed Sammy's legs and then kind of distracted him. Sammy turned his back, and then Jinder Mahal hit him with his finisher and won 1-2-3.
Well, think about that though. Like the Bollywood Boys, they're like a face tag team, and you saw the kind of like a heelist action there. You know.
Well, not just that. We saw this. I saw the same thing on. I think it was NXT. They had a match, and like they were on NXT. They had a match against Heavy Machinery, and they were acting really heel because the crowd didn't really like them. They didn't like what they were doing. They were just kind of like whatever. They didn't care. So Bollywood Boys were like, okay, well, forget you guys.
Well, we don't know who they are anyway, so. So we can't say they're a heel or face, kind of like Apollo Crews. I mean, it's obvious that Apollo Crews is more of a face than anything, which I honestly could see him and Titus O'Neil kind of doing something, which would actually be good for him and Titus O'Neil both. I think, you know, anything that will have Apollo Crews in it would be good. You know, I've been one to complain for many, many weeks saying that Apollo Crews is just, you know, all he is just a smile, and, you know, he's a great wrestler, but even in NXT, he was really nothing. The only reason he was really over was because of how good he was, and, you know, with us, you know, we respect what he could do, and, you know, I still think that was such an outstanding NXT Championship match that he had with Finn Balor before Baron Corbin came in and, you know, ruined it, and it honestly seemed like that Apollo Crews was going to be the NXT champion. At the time, obviously, I was really, really new to NXT, so I wouldn't have, you know, minded it. But, I mean, I don't know. You know, he needs something. I think, you know, maybe something heelish would do good for him. Him and Titus O'Neil could form some, you know, sort of tag team, you know, the Titus brand or something like that. Who knows? Or you could just have him feud. But, I mean, he needs something.
Yeah, right. That's the thing with Smackdown Live. That's why, like, the six-pack challenge, all the guys in it were really, like I said, like a bit, especially for the number one contender for the WWE Championship. It was really weird to see because we saw those six guys competing for, and then a guy like AJ Styles who's now on the mid card. So, like, things are really backwards. But I'm really okay with it. I like seeing the new, fresh faces, all the new talent.
What I think what I think they're doing is because they know that. I mean, really, Backlash isn't that big of a pay-per-view. You know, if we look at it, it's not that big of a pay-per-view, and they're just trying to get interest, and they're just trying to basically pass time, which isn't a bad thing. I mean, I'd rather see AJ Styles versus, let's say, Randy Orton, or AJ Styles versus Kevin Owens at SummerSlam. I think that's a money draw, or since, you know, along those lines. I would rather see that at a big pay-per-view that's really important. By the way, are you going to go to Battlegrounds, Andrew?
Battlegrounds?
It's in Philadelphia.
Oh, no. I already paid for the Royal Rumble. That's what I'm doing. Not Battlegrounds. I'm doing a Royal Rumble, so.
All right. But yeah, I'm glad Sami Zayn didn't win. Even though Sami's still not winning anything, I would rather him lose in that situation than have him go after a mid card, than go after the title and then lose and then be nothing again. Because if he was to lose, it really would put him on a setback. Juan, was SmackDown good? Yeah, SmackDown was good. I'm gonna give you something you want, something you need. I give you the gift of ginger juice it up, man.
Well, one thing I wanted to touch on with that you said about Sammy is, I mean, I'm glad he didn't win, but I just hate so much that not even just him losing these number one contenders matches, him constantly taking the pinfall. He's always the guy that keeps taking the pin. I hate seeing him because the guy deserves an opportunity, a great feud, or just a title shot or something, and he keeps getting that short end of the stick. He keeps getting that, and he never gets the opportunity. Granted, tonight was WWE Championship, but still, though, like, he just keeps getting that short end of the stick. It's frustrating as hell. He deserves those opportunities. Give him something. Stop making him take these pins at least.
He does.
He just keeps getting set back.
But, I mean, look at it this way. when he was on Raw, the Universal Champion was Kevin Owens, and the mid card champion was Roman Reigns. So no matter what, it wasn't looking good for him.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, the best thing for him was to do what they were doing with him, and that's just have him, basically put people over. And he did it good and did it well. Like I said
That's a shame
before,
though for Sami Zayn.
it is, and I do think that SmackDown Live is going to be a better move for him. I think he'll be used and valued more in SmackDown Live. So, it's just this is what, the second week, right? Yeah, this is the second week that this has all happened. So, it's way too soon to say, oh well, he's not going to be used right. We still got a lot of storytelling to go on. We also, again, Payback's going to be just an pay-per-view. Backlash is going to be sort of the same thing. For God's sakes, we're going to see Bray Wyatt versus Jinder Mahal or Randy Orton versus Jinder Mahal.
Like I said, man, it could be good. Only time will tell. It really can be a good feud. If they can do it right, and Jinder can really, he needs to take advantage of this opportunity and shoot for the moon.
I will be straight with you.
This is one chance.
I'm not going to say I'm going to have a problem with it, but I might have some harsh words to say if Jinder ends up winning that title.
Oh my god! I guarantee. I'm telling you right now. People might be crazy. People might think I'm crazy. It's really possible. He could. He could give this chance. They see how much he really has improved and do it. It's possible, dude. I've seen him do crazier things. They could give him the time and say, "Okay, well, here, Jinder, we're really going to give you this chance to give you the title."
Nah, man, I'm calling it there. I think that's bullcrap. I doubt Jinder Mahal will beat Randy Orton.
Well, it's also, if they do pursue this legacy style of faction with Jinder Mahal and the Bollywood Boys, they could really capitalize on that and try to do something hard with it.
Well,
they can go that far with it.
You really can't go for a legacy type thing, because the thing about that is you had Cody Rhodes and Ted DiBiase. Those two were really good single competitors. No matter what, the Bollywood Boys are a tag team, and they'll never be and realistically they'll never be a singles competitor.
Well, yeah, I'm not saying that, but they can end up going for the tag team titles, for example, and then that could be a 3-man faction that has most of the gold.
And this is going to be something of the Monday Night Raw follow-up of last night. There is rumors going around that the WWE is trying to talk to TNA, or actually in talks with TNA, for a settlement to allow the Hardys to use their broken gimmick. And again, it is rumored to be that the Hardy Matt will be broken. Again, as I said yesterday, he was using different personalities last night. But Jinder and the Twins remind me of the Edgeheads.
Yeah, I remember that.
I don't know. Sometimes, when these type of things happen, it's not bad. Shelton Benjamin really strived from, Team Angle. Usually it's only one person. And then you'll have times where, you'll have, the Edgeheads and stuff like that where they really don't make a name for themselves. So, let's just see what can happen. There's no telling. We don't know. It's too early to tell. I think everybody's just more in shock that it actually happened than we really. We're really not processing this, if that makes sense. But moving on with tonight, we also saw AJ Styles, we saw Charlotte versus Naomi, and Charlotte got the win. I have been one to really, really bash the WWE for any time having your champion be pinned. Tonight, I'll give the exception. I thought tonight was good. I thought it altogether was good.
Well, it makes sense too, and it makes sense tonight where it was Charlotte fighting for number one contender. So this tonight, it made sense because the champion got pinned. So they did the normal logic where, okay, if a champion gets pinned, then the person who pinned them gets a title shot. Now it made sense. Other times, I agree with you, but we bash it because they don't follow through with that. But now they finally did, so now it's okay that now we're going to see Charlotte and Naomi, which I think will be a really good feud. And I wouldn't mind even seeing Charlotte take the title in her first feud on SmackDown. I wouldn't mind it.
My only issue is I still would rather see a number one contendership match
than
just having her lose.
I don't know. I'm kind of okay with it.
Andrew, what'd you think
Personally.
of the whole Naomi Charlotte situation?
No, I think it was needed. I mean, to have Charlotte come on and lose to Naomi would kind of be detrimental to her and her momentum, in my opinion. So I think it makes sense for them to feud and for her to get the win.
Charlotte,
Give Charlotte the belt. Seriously.
I would honestly and truthfully, I wouldn't mind it. Give it to her and then have her, obviously a backlash be Naomi versus Charlotte. Um, I think Charlotte might have herself, more than what we think with the women's locker room right now because she kind of shocked everybody. Charlotte versus Naomi tonight, I feel had to be the light. So next week they don't look repetitive with the title match.
Right.
And you know what? I didn't think the match was that bad at all. I thought it was actually pretty decent, but I also would probably have Charlotte take the title. Obviously we know that Charlotte can do great things. Well, I wouldn't go on to say great things. She can hold the title and make it mean something if it's written right. So again, it's just time will tell and see how the writing is, if it will be a good feud or not. Hopefully it is. I really do hope so.
Yeah, only time will tell. Let's see how it plays out, and I think that way we'll actually learn what's going on.
Right. We also saw Primo and Epico defeat the American Alpha. Now, Andrew, I want your opinion on this because you are very strong and you're very opinionated when it comes to American Alpha. How do you feel about this?
I think it's a wrong move. I feel like they haven't really used American Alpha the way that they should have. They gave them the titles, and I thought they were getting a big push, and they didn't do anything with them.
I think they were getting a push, but I think what happened is, again, American Alpha, and it's more of the writing, but they really don't have anything going for them. They have no character. They have nothing. It's just, we're a bunch of, wrestlers that were in college, or, basically Olympic wrestlers that are really good at wrestling, but character-wise, we haven't gotten any good feuds. But the Usos, and the Usos deserve those titles. They've done absolutely amazing with those titles. So, in feuding for them, I do think that they are the best tag team on SmackDown. So, I am glad that they have the belt, but I am not a fan. Well, I'm not going to say I'm not a fan. I actually am enjoying this. Primo and Epico, they are talented. They are. It's just they haven't been given the opportunities that, they could strive on. All they've gotten is, well, we're a bunch of, we're travel agents for Puerto Rico.
Yeah, and I really like now that they dropped, and you even heard, after they won their match, the announcer even said they're not just shining stars anymore, now they're just the Colognes. I really like that. They're more like a serious tag team now, and they're more of a serious heel than being travel agents that'll just scam you for your money and that kind of thing. No more shining stars. Let people, let us see that they can actually wrestle, that they actually have this amazing wrestling lineage that we haven't been able to see yet. I mean, yeah, we saw it a while back with Primo and Epico doing other things, but recently it's only been the travel agent stuff. So now we get to see them actually be wrestlers.
Well, their brother Carlito believes that they are extremely talented and they just haven't gotten the right opportunity yet.
I think they are. They're great wrestlers, and like I said, they have that wrestling lineage in their blood. They can be great if they just get that right chance, and now I think they got it. Now I think they're going to hit their stride.
I think it's a big blow for American Alpha, but I do think that it's good. And, I am going to say that I think it's better out of the two tag teams, it's better for Primo and Epico to have this happen. Mm-hmm. I think if American Alpha wins, it does nothing for American Alpha. And who knows, we could get a pretty good feud out of these two. We don't know. Let's just see let's see what happens. Sadly, of course, this would probably be a pre-show match at a Backlash, or honestly and truthfully, it could be a match because I know that SmackDown has been really focusing on the women and having multiple women's matches. But why not have this tag team match? Because I think the tag teams have been very neglected on SmackDown, on both brands, really. And I honestly and truthfully think that Raw has a better end of the deal with tag teams right now, especially with the Revival and especially with the Hardys. People are comparing, the Hardys and possibly the Rival being the new Midnight Express and Rock and Roll Express rivalry.
Mm.
Could do that.
I think it could be. Yeah, I definitely think it could be.
So I think let's again let's see what can happen with these feuds. Really early to tell. If they want Primo and Epico to gain momentum, they need a 30-minute match that will legitimize them. Yeah, and I think they could do that with American Alpha. They could do it with American Alpha at Backlash. Give them the time. They could easily do it.
Yeah, the biggest thing is, especially on SmackDown Live, with the superstar shakeup and all this new talent, we're seeing like guys like Jinder Mahal and the Colognes and all these guys who are getting finally these opportunities, and we're all people. A lot of people are bashing them for it because of what we've seen in the past. Because we've seen Jinder Mahal not do much and be unsafe or unentertaining in the past. We've seen the Colognes be the shining stars and be unentertaining and just be really just like a funny tag team in the past. We haven't seen them finally get the spotlight for being wrestlers that we've seen before. Now we finally get to. So all you can do is give these guys a chance. Just don't completely bash them right off the bat. Give them a chance. Give them through the weeks and see how they do on the mic, how they do in the ring. If they improve, if they start being able to grab the audience and grab that brass ring, because they can. They just need that opportunity, and now people like them are finally getting it. So, like I said, people just need to kind of calm down, relax, don't get all worked up, give them a chance, give them just an opportunity to finally shine under the spotlight that they deserve now, that they finally get.
I do want to follow up on what I said about people saying that Jinder is unsafe. Like I said last week, I really do think that Jinder was trying to show corporate that he could do something, and he rushed it and he tried too hard, which is why we saw him be very stiff. Obviously, I didn't see the match today, so I really don't know if he was extremely stiff or if he looked stiff today. Like, again, I wasn't able to watch it. I got home late. So, next week, I guess we'll see if he's in a match. But moving on, Kevin Owens defeats Gary Gandy in a Face of American Open Challenge. Just keep, basically protecting Kevin Owens. Not that bad. Just, nothing to really talk about. And then we had the main event of AJ Styles versus Baron Corbin. And again, I'm going to complain about Baron Corbin because again, the little thing he does where he slides under the ropes and then comes back into the ring to surprise his opponent with a clothesline or something, I like it. I really do. My problem is he has to stop doing it so often. That's my issue. Every single match he does it. Just like Dean Ambrose goes, when they throw an Irish whip on him, and he'll go in between the ropes and come back and clothesline him.
Yeah, I do agree with you that it should be like a once in a while kind of thing, but it won't be. We'll see it every single match, just like the Dean Ambrose thing, just like the little things that other people have. We're always going to see that.
And what I hate is he does it multiple times a match, and the second time is like, oh, he read him like a book. Like, good God, because the last time he did it, he does it every match. I don't understand how it's not read. Like, if you, I understand that it's, obviously that it's all, the decision's already, made, but predetermined. But for God's sakes, like, if I'm a competitor, I'm going to scout, and if I see that this person does it every single match, I'm going to prepare for it. It's probably my only complaint to have.
Well, WWE doesn't really believe in, like, too much of a good thing is bad. They think, okay, let's keep doing too much of a good thing, and it'll always be good, right? No, it's people like you. I mean, I feel the same way. I hate seeing, like, cool little things, like even Dean Ambrose's, like, Irish whip thing is cool, but to see it every single match, even multiple times a match, I'm pretty sure there was times where, like, he was feuding with Chris Jericho or something. He did it at least 2 or 3 times in a match, and it's like, okay, it was cool before. It's like, because he missed it, like, the first 2 times, and then the third time he finally hit it. Like, it's too much. Let it be just like in one time a match, or one time every few matches will be even better. Mm-hmm. Don't have it be too much, because, like I said, the little things like that are really cool to see. I like little, like, cool moves like that we're seeing that we've never seen before. Because, like, the Baron Corbin thing is cool. It's an idea. It's a cool idea where if somebody's getting Irish whip to the corner, they go under the bottom rope, go around, and then slide back in the ring and hit him with a big clothesline. That's awesome. But seeing it too much is bad.
Mm-hmm. Andrew, what do you think of the main event, man?
I don't know. It's just This SmackDown's been kind of weird for me. I'm still trying to adjust to all the talent that's on the roster. Like I feel indifferent to it. Like I felt like it was entertaining, but like I didn't really feel like they did enough to really progress the feud. You know.
Terrence says, "I am interested in the Jinder Mahal push." Man, I don't blame you. Like we said at the top of the, at the beginning of the show, or like Kyle said, really, is let's just see what he can do. If he honestly and truthfully is going to go out and say that he is the best wrestler or most improved wrestler in that company, let him prove it to you. Now, I will say, I do think that putting him on the main title might be too much, but why not? Do it. Go big. Let's see what he can do under the pressure. Michael says SmackDown is being limited because of Payback. I don't know why they keep saying it's a Raw exclusive pay-per-view. I really don't. Even though there's only a few SmackDown matches, you might as well make it just a joint pay-per-view. I think it's dumb. The Raw exclusive pay-per-view here, Payback, and it's just like, bruh, or SmackDown talent. That's not Raw? That's just me being, nitpicky. Course.
No, I know. I agree. That's annoying because it really is just like joined pay-per-views to just make it that. That's okay. You guys can do that now, even though it's a brand split.
Be sure to, if you are new to the channel, to hit that subscribe button. Also hit that like button. Even if you want to dislike it, that's okay, because guess what? It means the same thing as a like. I love when people dislike videos. Because it does nothing. It does nothing but help us support. It means you're being active on our channel. So be sure to hit that. We go live every Monday and Tuesday. We also, every single pay-per-view, we're live with a prediction show and basically we go live after to give you our thoughts. Also, if anybody wasn't able to watch, we tell you what happened. Yeah, I mean, Andrew, before we really end the show here, is there anything else that really caught your eye tonight that you think we should talk about?
I think we pretty much covered everything.
Yeah. What about you, Kyle?
What was your question?
Is there anything else you think we should talk about before we, end this?
I don't think so. I think we covered pretty much everything going on. I think overall tonight, my opinion of the show, like a scale from 1 to 10, I'd give it a 7. I enjoyed it overall. I enjoyed like the entire night. It was really good. And I'm interested to see the future. I mean, the future is really going to hold a lot of great things. Like, will we see the push from the Colognes? Will that pay off? The push from Jinder Mahal, that's the biggest thing. Will that pay off? And then this incoming feud of, Dolph Ziggler and Shinsuke Nakamura. I'm really excited to see that. I know we talked about it already, like, last week and then on this past Raw, stuff like that. But I can't say enough how really excited I am for it because I enjoy watching Dolph Ziggler, and Shinsuke is just Shinsuke. So I think they're going to even tear down the house.
All right. Terrence, the two people that grabbed Sami Zayn are the Bollywood Boys. They both competed in the Cruiserweight Classic. They're twins, and they're, of course, a tag team. And they also have competed as jobbers in NXT. I think they've also been in 205 Live, but they really didn't do anything in 205 Live. I think they made, like, 1 or 2 appearances. I mean, I really don't watch 205 enough to, like, tell you word for word on what the Bollywood Boys do. So, but they're actually a really good tag team, and like we were saying earlier, if they make some sort of faction, Jobber Revolution, it could be good. Again, it just all depends on how Jinder Mahal works with Randy Orton at Backlash or Bray Wyatt. So, Ellsworth is their role model. All jobbers will rise. But I do think, with that being said, that we are going to be ending the show here. It was a really good. I mean, SmackDown-wise, it wasn't bad. It wasn't good. It was just a good, mediocre show. A big curveball today, again, with Jinder Mahal being the #1 contender. Charlotte also gaining #1 contendership and a title match next week on SmackDown. So with that being said, we will be live again next week on Monday Night Raw for the Monday Night Raw review. So until then, for Josh, for Kyle, and Andrew, peace out.